what's happening, and welcome into AU Nation. Each week we bring together members of the Auburn Student Media Group and discuss the latest topics in the world of sports. I'm Evan Blank. On today's show, we'll recap the college basketball title game, talk a little Auburn baseball, and fill in some blanks as well. Now, let's introduce today's panel of experts. Our first guest today is Eli Hiskey. Eli's a writer for the Auburn Plainsman. Eli making another appearance. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. As always, it's great to be back, and I would just like to point out that last week on the show I correctly predicted each of the Final Four games.
That you did, and we'll get to that in just a sec. But first, our other expert today is Hayden Crigler. He is a sports reporter for Eagle Eye TV. Hayden, welcome back. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just ready to talk some sports.
Hey,
appreciate you having me back.
Aren't we all? So, we're going to start the show today by filling in some blanks. I'm going to give you a sports phrase, and your job is to fill in that blank. We start with last night's title game. North Carolina winning the national championship game over Gonzaga is blank. Eli, you correctly predicted it. We'll start with you.
It's tough to find just one word for it, but I think I'm going to go with gritty. I mean, I don't think anyone can say that the first half of basketball and then into the 10 minutes of the second half were that good. Both teams shot pretty poorly. But that last 5 minutes, I was on the edge of my seat the entire time, and UNC really grinded out. They came out big when it counted, defensively especially. Kennedy Meeks, those last two possessions for Gonzaga were stopped by him. And I think UNC's grit really got them the win.
I would say not entirely surprising. Not to knock Gonzaga at all, but North Carolina with a 14-4 record in the ACC, much tougher conference. They've had to play through some adversity all season, play a way tougher schedule than the Zags. Now, the Zags did surprise me knocking off South Carolina like they did. I honestly did not think that was going to happen. But still, North Carolina, I'd say the tougher team, grittier team, as Eli said, and just a tougher conference to play through to get them to this point to be able to overcome the adversity in the game and win out the game.
Yeah, North Carolina winning the title game, I think, was decided in the paint. North Carolina just murdered Gonzaga inside. Those second chance points, those rebounds just killed them. And North Carolina, just what a great performance and really great team. But we move from the end of college basketball to the beginning of baseball. The most underrated team in the MLB this season will be blank. Hayden.
I'd say the Rays. Evan Longoria is playing like a man out there. They've taken some tough L's in the preseason, but a win Sunday against the Yankees should propel them into the beginning of the regular season and hopefully get them jump-started and have a great season ahead. And I'm really looking forward to see what they can do.
I am going with the Colorado Rockies. I think Trevor Story coming back off the DL last year, he had 27 home runs before he hit that. I think he's going to have another phenomenal year. I think their pitching core is really underrated. Their home field is so different than everyone else's. But if you take away their adjustment for home field, with it being Mile High City or whatever, last year their pitching rotation was 8th best in the MLB, and I think they're going to have a really strong year this year, and they're going to get above 500. I don't know if they're going to be able to top out the Giants or Dodgers in that division, but I think they're going to have a really good year.
Yeah, Bud Black, the new manager in Colorado. I'm going to go with a team Eli just mentioned, the Giants. They just always sort of seem to fly under the radar. Everyone talks about the Dodgers, the Nationals, the Cubs, the Cardinals, teams like that. And the Giants have been the most consistent winners, and they still really don't get talked about that much. Bruce Bochy's done a great job with that team. They look really good still. I think the Giants are going to surprise people, and I think the Giants, at the very end of the season, win the NL West over the Dodgers. All right, let's move now to the NFL. Big news in running backs. Adrian Peterson meeting with the Patriots this week is blank. Eli.
I think it's a genius move by both parties. I think Adrian Peterson knew going into it that the Patriots weren't really willing to pay what he was asking, but this gets the rest of the NFL team scared. That no one wants to see Adrian Peterson team up with them, so they're going to start coming with offers for him, I think. And I think for the Patriots, it's smart because it gets LeGarrette Blount more willing to sign for them and as a free agent and come back to them.
I think it was very intriguing. As we know, there was no deal, but as he was talking about Blount, that's the main thing I kept thinking about. They're really trying to get the ball rolling on that, and I think that it will help get him to take a look at them and hopefully sign with them. But also, it would be scary if Adrian Peterson did join the Patriots. His powerful running style mixed with their air attack and just their all-around team would be dangerous.
Yeah, I think that meeting is a last-ditch effort. Adrian Peterson wants to win a championship, obviously, and there's no real better team he could possibly go to
Oh,
than
no,
New England
not at all.
right now. Right now, it's just whether it makes sense, like you said, with Blunt, who I think right now, just because of Adrian Peterson's age, Blunt is clearly the better running back, knows that style and that team. But now we move to Augusta. My favorite part of the Masters is blank. Hayden.
The stage. You know, there are plenty of major tournaments, but everybody wants that green jacket. Everybody's chasing the green jacket. Also, the publicity, everybody's watching it. You know, not just normal golf fans. The everyday person turns on the Masters to watch it. And I think the stage and the importance of the game. Also, Augusta, a beautiful course and just a really great event to watch.
As I was thinking about this last night, I wanted to go with tradition, but I think I'm going to take it a step further than that. My favorite part of the Masters is hole 12. That island green can make or break your score, and I just love watching that hole. Any player can blow up or succeed. If you can par that hole even, you have a great chance at finishing the rest of the round strong. And I just think there's not another hole in golf that has that much of importance. I'm
going to do my best Jim Nantz impression. My favorite part of the Masters is the tradition unlike any other. I think it's just amazing, this tournament every year. It's the most watched golf tournament by Americans by a mile. It's that beautiful course, that mysterious course, that private course that only so many get membership to. It's a really cool event, and it always ends up being exciting every year, whether it's a historic young kid or a great battle down the stretch. It's a really fun event.
Definitely.
Love the Masters. But now coming up after the break, we're going to look local and talk a little Auburn baseball. This is Eagle Eye TV.
I hope that you've been able to learn a strong work ethic surrounded by character, integrity, perseverance, so that when your 1 second comes, you'll be prepared for it.
Chris Davis.
45, there goes Davis!
Your 1 second, our 1 second is now. And our lives have been guided by the principles of one of the greatest academic institutions in the country, Auburn University.
Welcome back to AU Nation. Auburn baseball is coming off a series win over the South Carolina Gamecocks, and the Tigers are surprising everyone. Auburn climbed to number 7 in the national polls. This is Auburn's highest ranking since 2004. Gentlemen, what is the biggest reason that Auburn's been successful this season? Hayden, we'll start with you.
I would say Jonah Todd, pitching, and the confidence of the team. First of all, the pitching has been incredible, especially against South Carolina, as well as the confidence of the team and them playing like a team together. You know, obviously Auburn's had some struggles in baseball recently over the past few years, and not being the worst, but just not being able to crack that top tier, and they're really going into it right now, the top in the SEC. It's just been incredible to watch, and I'd say the biggest thing would definitely be the confidence of the team.
I'm going to go with the character of the team. They've had this season alone already 10 wins by just 1 run, and I think that's something that really comes down to the character. Those games can go either way, and we saw that this weekend. They won 1 game with pitching and 1 game with hitting with that walk-off on Sunday. So I really think this is a really good team, and their character is what's making them look so good so far.
Yeah, they're looking really awesome out there. I want to go back to Eli with the one-run games. I mean, that just shows the grit this team has and the perseverance. They're playing awesome, and so much of the time they seem to be playing from behind, too, and having to come back and win these games. It's really just a testament to Butch Thompson and his staff. They're just looking really awesome right now. But they got a big series this weekend. Auburn travels to College Station to take on Texas A&M. How many games in the 3-game series does Auburn win in this SEC road trip, Eli?
Texas A&M is a good team, but I really think if Auburn wants to cement themselves as a real SEC power this season, I want them to win the series with 2 wins. I don't think it's realistic necessarily to get a sweep, but I definitely think this is a big series for them, and if they can win this and get the ball rolling even more than they have after this confidence coming off of South Carolina, I think it's going to be big for them.
I'd say 2 out of the 3, too. They're not going to get the full sweep. Texas A&M is just too good of a team. They lost by 1 to TCU, a very good TCU team in the Sanders Classic, as well as Auburn. Auburn should win the 2 out of the 3, but they can't win the third, the full sweep, because Texas A&M is just playing too well right now. But I still look at Auburn to win too.
Yeah, Casey Mize has just been playing really well, and I think that's going to be the difference in that game, because we've seen basically in every SEC series so far, there's been one game that each side has pretty clearly won, and then that toss-up game. This past weekend, it was Game 3 against South Carolina. I think Casey Mize gets Auburn through and just absolutely destroys Texas A&M in Game 2 when he's likely to pitch, and it's going to be a great series. Texas A&M's a really good team. They had a great series with LSU this past weekend, and it's going to be tough. Auburn facing a tough road test, but I think they can get 2 out of 3. So, guys, that's just about going to do it for us here. Thanks so much for joining us again.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks
Always
for having
happy
me.
to be here.
Appreciate it.
All right, and that is about going to do it for Hayden Crigler and Eli Hiskey. That's it for today's show. Join us again. We'll see you some other time. Thanks for watching AU Nation on Eagle Eye TV.